As someone who grew up before anime made its way over to Western shores, at least in a popular fashion, just like how Disney cartoons influenced Japanese animation, it's been a blast to see the ways in which anime have in turn influenced Western cartoons. And that's what we're going to take a dive into for this video, sponsored by Wakfu. Wakfu, for those unaware, is an MMO game with a French animated series based on it and influencing it. The show's third season just released on Netflix, so if it seems like your cup of tea, definitely check that out. But before we get into that, let's take a quick dive into animated history. Since the dawn of mankind, since at least the era of cavemen, man have tried to depict animation and motion in various forms. For example, cave drawings would feature animals with multiple legs to showcase motion, and Paleolithic discs have been found, which archaeologists believe to be a type of thaumatrope, meaning that it would show motion or a special image when spun on a string. Some of the first examples of successfully displaying animation actually happened before film, one being the phenakistoscope, consisting of a spinning disc with a rectangular aperture at the rim of the disc, which were used together to showcase animation, and the zoetrope, which consisted of a paper placed in a spinning cylinder. Jumping way ahead, with the invention of film, animation was quickly adopted into the medium, with 1908's Phantasmagoria considered to be the first animated cartoon. Animation and the way to showcase it was then further paved with Walt Disney, whose famous cartoon, Steamboat Willie, was released in 1928. But it was 1937's Snow White which would have the largest influence over Japanese animation, as it proved a feature-length animated film could make money. Not only that, but Walt Disney was a major influence on Osamu Tezuka, who is widely regarded as the father of anime. Tezuka was obsessed with Disney films as a child, and as such, it influenced his art style and animation. He took on the cute style of Disney characters, showcasing large and expressive eyes, and characters who overall looked more cute. Keeping this basis of Disney influences, Tezuka then went on to create Astro Boy, which became the basis for all anime to follow, and completely revolutionized the genre, with several major future mangaka and animators citing the huge influence Astro Boy had on them. Akira Toriyama, for example, the creator of Dragon Ball, has stated that he admires Osamu Tezuka, and Tezuka was a major inspiration for him. Dragon Ball, in turn, became a major influence for modern manga, and especially shonen. Meanwhile, Hayao Miyazaki, who's been called the Japanese Walt Disney, has stated Osamu Tezuka was a major influence, and originally copied Tezuka's work before destroying it, believing he needed to develop his own style. And it was, in part, thanks to Dragon Ball and Hayao Miyazaki that anime became such a major factor in the West. As popular anime slowly trickled over into Western culture, Dragon Ball Z became the largest success and would be the boom that would support the anime movement. Since then, we've seen popular Western cartoons adapting anime style and citing it as a major influence. The Avatar: The Last Airbender creators cite several anime as influences on the series, such as Cowboy Bebop, Fooly Cooly, and Hayao Miyazaki's works, with Appa's design being based on the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro. Steven Universe, meanwhile, contains constant references to anime, with my personal favorite being a reference to Junji Ito's The Enigma of Amigata Vault. This, of course, extends past just American animation and onto all Western animation. The French animation, Miraculous Ladybug, while CG, clearly contains anime influences. While certain elements come from superheroes, the art style is definitely influenced by anime, with larger eyes and small facial features outside of the eyes, with other elements, such as transformations, taking inspiration from magical girl animes such as Sailor Moon. And one of the more recent animations to take influence from anime is the French animation Wakfu. Wakfu is a cartoon based on the MMO by the same name and creates a transmedia experience with both the cartoon and game influencing one another. Similar to its MMO counterpart, the cartoon actually utilizes Flash alongside traditional animation techniques and CG in order to create its animations. All of the characters are stylistically inspired by anime, with cute large faces and large eyes. When characters smile, you can see the eyes turn into an N shape, also similar to anime, and of course much of the hair is influenced by it, with my boy Sir Percival having hair similar to a DBZ Super Saiyan. And seriously, Percival is the bomb. He's a courageous knight with no brains, and therefore a blast to watch, and therefore my idol. I don't know what it is, but I tend to look up to idiot characters like this, so maybe that explains a lot about me. Sir Percival is Neop, and one of the classes you can choose in the MMO of the game, which is obviously the class I chose to play as. In fact, all the characters are based on classes from the game. The main character we follow, Yugo, is similar to the Eliotropes, and a master of Wakfu's energy who can create portals. Meanwhile, Amalia is a Sedita, or a nature summoner, Evangeline is a Kra, and an archer, and Rule, oh Rule, is an Enutrof, or treasure hunter. As I mentioned before, the show is definitely influenced by anime, but that also goes beyond just the character designs and also into the humor and animation itself. In animation, the show utilizes motion lines and shakes similar to anime in order to stylistically emphasize the movements of the characters and its actions. In fact, Season 3 includes homages to anime, with the director of the show stating, "With Season 3, we also wanted to pay homage to the anime series of our childhoods, Dragonball Z, City Hunter, and Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac." As far as the MMO the show is based on, an update released on April 3rd with characters from the show appearing in the game. Rule will, fittingly, offer a quest within the beginner area of the game to go for a treasure hunt. Meanwhile, you can fight alongside Sir Percidil, who will be training to become an even stronger warrior and invite you to train with him. And of course, other characters from the show will show up and can be met in game. All the characters from the cartoon are younger, as the show takes place years after the MMO. If you want to try a new MMO, Wakfu is completely free on Steam and is a turn-based RPG. Meanwhile, if you're like me and enjoy a good anime-inspired cartoon, Wakfu just might be up your alley, with all 3 seasons now up on Netflix. Thanks for checking out this quick dive into the history of animation, and the way we've seen influences bounce back and forth. And of course, thank you to Wakfu for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check out more on the transmedia experience, with board games, card games, and more also getting updates. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.